Folks, how are we doing today? All right, so NEOS has released the latest distributions for November. So we're going to jump into our spreadsheet and look at them. The results are mixed, but still very promising, guys. Let's jump right into it. All right, guys, first and foremost, as per usual, you guys, if you guys want access to this spreadsheet we will look at today, please jump over to the Patreon. It will be posted in the Patreon. It is a NEOS payout spreadsheet for each month's payout within the distribution calendar. And I'll probably do some new calendars for Goldman Sachs and for other institutions as we move into the next year. But today we have our core NEOS payout calculator for 2025. Let's jump into it right now. All right, and of course, it's the November payout, and I'm encouraged by the results, guys. All right, so just for the setup, just to show you guys the setup, we have QQQI, which we're evaluating, SPYI, and BTCI. You can adjust this based on the shares that you own. So if you have 1,000 shares, you adjust it. I'm putting 1,000 shares here. If you have 500 shares, it will adjust everything accordingly. I put here 1,000 shares for QQQI, 1,500 shares for SPYI, and 1,500 shares for BTCI. Of course, this is all adjustable. All right, so the payout for QQQI was 63 cents in November, which is right in line with all the other months. So QQQI, great job. Their year-to-date yield is 12.59% and a trailing 12-month yield of 13.74%, guys. Total payout year-to-date is $6.80. Should you have invested 54K, you would have yielded in and around 7K in yield for the year. So really good stuff from QQQI, very healthy there. Looking at SPYI, similar story, guys, and of course these are going to correlate with the underlying asset, right? The S&P 500 and the QQQs, right? The Nasdaq 100. So both of them have still been pretty much on an upswing. Yes, we had a small dip, but pretty much still on an upswing for both of these products. So SPYI, 52-cent distribution, very healthy, right in line with all of the other distributions. Almost one of the strongest of the year so far. October did better. So did September, but November, no slouch with 52 cents, right in line. And that gives us a almost 11% total yield for the year so far and a trailing 12-month yield of almost 12% at 11.7%. So very healthy stuff there as well. This is going to be the nuance, guys. BTCI, all right? So the November payout, $1. This is the lowest payout that we have seen of the year so far, but that is okay. This is still effectively a 26% yield on the year, and that's all right. The fact that they are able to pay out a dollar yield while BTC is tanking, 20, 30% in a month, that's still an encouraging sign that they're able to yield premiums from option income and pay it out to us. So, a dollar, of course, the weakest payout of the year. If we look at this chart, if we had invested 68K for this payout, it would have been $1,500 in monthly distribution and monthly payout versus maybe at the beginning of the year, something like 2,300. So certainly this is a weaker payout of the bunch, but we have to account for the underlying asset and see what that is doing. And the fact that I can have optionality now, now that if I didn't have extra cash on hand, guess what? Now I'm getting paid out this cash that I can reinvest back in at these lower prices to ride the next wave back up, or use that income in other places if I don't want to reinvest into BTCI. You have this optionality now. It's anyone's guess what will happen with Bitcoin. And from my vantage point, not financial advice, but it will bounce back. We're already seeing an uptrend. So, it went all the way down to 80K. Now it's back to 91K as of today. So we're seeing that great uptrend back, and we're seeing that volatility. And just keep in mind, guys, the volatility helps these companies generate these healthy premiums. With more volatility, there was more availability for higher premiums within the options market. So that helps BTCI's cause as it relates to these premiums. But, year to date, the trailing 12-month yield, 36%, and year-to-date yield about 32%. the trailing 12 month is going to increase because the value of the asset is decreasing, right? So right now the price for this for a share of BTCI is $45. Before it was 50, 55, maybe 60 at some points. So that will bring down the yield, but your payouts will be stronger, right? So we want to see this NAV increase. We want to see, a stabilized NAV. We want to see it increase. And with the growth of BTC, the underlying asset, it will grow. I have no doubt. But, of course, this is not, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know when it will happen. But ultimately, guys, this is the spreadsheet. Let me know what you think about this month's payoffs or payouts. And sub to the channel, guys. I love the great discussion that we have in our community. Sub to the Patreon. All the best, guys. Happy Thanksgiving and cheers.